You should know by now.
They always
Welcome
like
everybody to the Tuesday AMA with your friendly neighbors, the Nexus Ecosystem. Excited to be here as we are every week. And you've got the team here, the entire Nexus Ecosystem team, everybody in the front and behind the scenes. And we've had an exciting from last week to this week, a lot of things happening in the background. It feels almost like there could be some movement in the market. It feels good, looks good. Been following a lot of Bitcoin gurus and YouTube channels and information, and it's good to be educated. But today we're just going to go over a few things here and there, and I'm going to pass it over to our man of the hour, Mr. Jan. No, just kidding. Jan's the man of the hour usually. Yes. That's behind the scenes. But today it's Peter Gantner. How you doing, Peter?
Good, buddy. How are you?
It could be amazing. I am very, very good.
Excellent, excellent. I just was reading the news, and this is pretty interesting right here. I'm just going to show the headline. Oh, it says I can't share. It says you stop me. You won't let me.
There you go, buddy.
Boom, there it is. El Salvador's Bitcoin boom. How the world's first crypto nation's big bet is stabilizing its economy, proving critics wrong, and paying back its debt. So El Salvador just paid off an $800 million bond plus interest, stabilizing their country. A bunch of people laughed at him, said he was crazy. Matter of fact, some of their citizens came out and protested in the streets that the guy running the country was half out of his mind because he was getting involved in Bitcoin. And now, of course, it's helping stabilize their country and move it in the right direction. And the next bull run has not even come yet, right? The halving is coming May of next year, which is just a little over a year away. Who knows what it's going to do then? But if nothing else, just the fact that Bitcoin has stabilized a country that has needed help for a long time in order to be able to do that, guys, is a positive step for where things are going and they're happening. Now, I got to tell you, when you go out there, there's lots of negative news, right? There's people writing stories and stuff. But guess what? It happened with the internet. It happens with all trends, all things that are taking place. You always have the naysayers who don't want it to happen. But I think one of the things that personally myself, what I look at is what is their motivation? If somebody's in the banking industry, do they really want or connect it to the old guard, the powers that be, right? The people that are in the in crowd. Do they really want a shift that moves power back to more people, right? That is decentralized, that spreads that power out to the hands of individuals? Or do they like it when power is centralized and it's who they know? You know, they can have their kids grow up and join the power base and be part of it, and it can continue to use nepotism to pass it through generations, those type of things. Or do they like it when it's a marketplace that says you need to be able to go compete, you need to be able to create value, you need to be able to actually put effort into it to get there? Let me ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever met somebody who's like super well off and they're powerful, and you meet them and you talk with them and you're like, that person is dumber than a box of rocks? How the hell did they get there, right? And then you find out that it's a generational thing, right? It was really just passed down from them. You know, they're born in the right family, they're part of the right thing. So that's going to change with decentralization, and that's what I'm excited about it. You know, it's the decentralized mechanism that is a part of cryptocurrency, right? So there's innovations that are being done, new ERC, protocols that are being developed and built and put out there, new chains, new stuff, new technology that is being built, that over the next 3, 5, 10 years, moving into this Web3, the metaverse, those type of things, there's going to be a lot of forces to fight against this. And, you know, I know a lot of people, I was talking to someone, they said, oh yeah, my sister keeps giving me the bad news, called me up and saying, hey, you might want to get out of crypto because, you know, there's all this bad news about it. But you've got to read behind the headlines when they're taking place and look at it and say, does the person who's writing this headline or the sources that they're quoting, do they have ulterior motives to make it to where, you know, crypto doesn't make it? It's not popular. I mean, right now, there's a full-on assault by, you know, a lot of people against the crypto market because of what happened with FTX and what happened with all this stuff. But the way I look at it is, okay, so about a couple weeks ago, one bank, the 16th largest bank in the United States, not in the world, in the United States, right? Couple of $100 billion, which sounds like a lot of money. But in the economic sense of banking, it's a very small sliver, okay? It has some economic issues. And the entire federal government needs to step up to shore up the banking industry, okay? That's what just happened, right? This is reality. I'm not making this up, right? It's not a scenario. However, over the last year, first of all, you had a stable coin valued at, now think about this, the banking industry is in the tens of trillions of dollars, right? Maybe 100 trillion. I don't know the exact number. Okay, so 200 billion was a very sliver of that, right? The crypto market is a $1 trillion market, but yet you have something which is $40 billion of that, about 4% of the entire crypto market with Luna, and it crashes. Nobody bails out the crypto market, no government, nobody steps in, but yet it survives. And it not only survives, it thrives and starts to go back up. A short time later, FTX, the third largest exchange in the world, finds out there's some shady stuff going behind it. It crashes, and guess what? Market dips a little bit and comes right back up. No government to step in, nobody to bail it out, but yet today, crypto is higher than the day when it happened with FTX. And in between, Celsius and so many others. Guys, I don't know, in my opinion, it shows that there's strength here. That community is commerce. That if people believe in something and get behind something, that yes, tragedy, bad things can happen. However, it can survive because of the power of the community that is behind crypto. There's a force out there that wants a decentralized world, and it's not the governments. It's not the people in power. It's individuals that say, I'm tired of other people dictating my life, and I want a more decentralized future. I'm not for a totally decentralized future, guys. I don't know what that would look like, but I believe that the majority of things need to be decentralized so we have a say-so in a direction that we can dictate of our own lives. Data is huge. Blockchain Alliance's mission, right, is to what? Help educate people of the wealth that's been created by data. Do you think, wait a minute, how does Facebook let you go on there for free? You think the ads are what's driving their growth and their profits? It's a portion of their profits, but the majority of their profits come from your data, your digital persona, who you are. You go on there and search and you look at a picture or you look at anything, just do a test. You know, if you hate golf, go on and start looking and signing up for golf groups and go search in Google for golf clubs. And all of a sudden, every ad, all the stuff that's hammering on you is about golf, right? Golf trips, golf clubs, golf this, golf that, golf this. And you don't even like golf. You just happen to know somebody. Anybody ever do that? You're like searching for a Christmas present and you go on, like I buy my wife stuff for her craft business, right? I'm telling you, I go on and I buy her a press, right, for pressing her stuff. For months, For months, I'm getting hounded by press sellers and in all kinds of different products that have to do with it. I don't like making crafts. My wife likes it, right? But I search for her. So now they're going to hammer me with that type of stuff. Guys, data is the most valuable asset in the world today. More valuable than gold, more valuable than oil, more valuable than any of it. It's your data, it's your information that is being there. And the key is we fell for it. I'm one of them. Oh my God, these social media sites are free. We get to use them for free. Who was it that said, if something is free, then you're the product, right? That is a key thing right there. If something is free, you're the product. And what they mean is your data is the product that they're using to generate revenue. That's exactly what it is, guys. And we need to move away from that. And I'm not saying businesses shouldn't make money, but what they should be doing is sharing that money with the people who are providing the data. If I own a piece of land and you came to me and said, hey, there's going to be a fair down the street. I want people to park here. I'll run the parking thing and we'll charge $20 and we'll split the money. That's a fair transaction, right? But to say, hey, I'm going to rent out your land and I'm keeping all the money, that doesn't seem that fair, right? On the value proposition that's there. Now, what do you get out of it? You get all these people parking on your yard and you get to say hi to them, right? Think about us giving away our photos, guys. We are taking photos and we're posting them online. And if you've ever gone in to read the terms and conditions, the second you post that photo online, you don't even own the rights to that photo anymore. The social media companies do. The video, the content that's being created becomes property of the platforms that are out there for them to monetize it and share with you. And we look at it and say, hey, wow, look at these social media stars that have made a lot of money. Those are the major ones, guys, that are out there. So that's the idea between Web3 and this whole movement towards cryptocurrency. Blockchain is about digital sovereignty. It's about taking back our lives and saying, you know what? We want to share in the revenue that we're helping create. I'm an entrepreneur. I love when, business people are successful and make money, right? But we did a statistic. We were looking it up. 332 people, internet billionaires, have a net worth of over $2 trillion. 332 people, over $2 trillion. Now you say to yourself, well, that doesn't sound like a lot of money. Do you know that if they took that money and they wanted to just give it away, they could make 2 million people millionaires? 2,332 people have enough combined wealth that if they shared it with people, they could make 2 million people millionaires. How did they get it? Our data. They said, look, you can come on the site for free. And again, we're responsible for this because we fell for it. Instead of paying $2 a month for a social media site, right? And saying, no, you can't sell my data. I'll give you $2 a month or $9 a month. We said, no, we'll just go ahead and go with this free stuff, right? Twitter, Facebook, all of them are the same, right? Instagram, and we'll just go on there for free. We gave them the rights to sell our data. Amazon, another place that makes a lot of money. We want it products cheap and we want them delivered to our door. So for that convenience, they built a data system where they're able to now market and sell your data and sell your information on that side of it. So there's a lot of stuff, guys, that we need to think about what we're doing. We need to think about where we're doing business. And for the people that are on here that want blockchain to succeed, we need to start finding and sharing with each other. Like I use only the Brave browser now. Why? Because it's a blockchain related business, right? It's a DApp. It's deep in the space. It has a token, right? The basic attention token. We need to find products and services and then direct not just our owning of a crypto. Okay, I want to make a lot of money. I'm going to buy this crypto and I'm going to hold on to it. But we need to start directing our buying power, our attention to crypto related projects. That could be a game. Let's say you find a game that you love and it's a play to earn game. We need to share it with friends and family and invite people to play the game with us. Not buy a crypto, but to engage with blockchain companies in order for them to achieve success, to then move towards that side of it. These are the things that we can do, guys. We vote with our dollars. We vote with our attention, what we're sharing, what we're doing. And so we need to move towards finding blockchain projects, dApps that work, dApps that create value in our lives, that are blockchain related, that we can go into. That's one of the reasons why we are so engaged with Otherverse, because we know that when the metaverse comes into existence, right, full bore, it already exists, right? Been running one for 18 years. But when it begins to take a hold for overall society and business and all that starts getting put into there, that we need to then go out and push that to make it happen, because that will allow for what? Digital sovereignty, right? For us to begin to move in the right direction for us to get to where we need to go, which is a majority decentralized world. I don't know about you guys, but I believe I can make better decisions for my life than other people can. I don't think there's anybody out there smart enough to make decisions for Peter Gantner, right? And for my family. I believe I'm the best one to make those decisions. And that's, the reason why I believe in decentralized. Now, I got to tell you, there are people out there that would love to delegate. They do it all the time. Delegate the major decisions to somebody else. Let them make the decisions so then they can blame other people when things don't work out. But I'm all about taking responsibility when things work and when they don't work. And that's, I think, part of the problem right now with the idea of decentralization. There's a fear behind it. So if you start talking about wallets, okay, seed words, you start talking about having to be responsible. If you have a banking account and you're not diligent, and somebody, you leave your card somewhere, or somebody gets your card number, and it might be your fault, might not be your fault, and somebody takes from your bank, the bank just replaces the money, no problem, move on. That's easy, right? I don't have any risk. Now, when you move into the crypto space, there's more risk because it's decentralized. And that's, I think, part of what the decisions we need to make is, are we willing to take a little more risk and be more responsible for our own day-to-day lives and have a more decentralized world where we have more freedom? Or do we want to stay with a system that says bigger government, bigger controls, I have less responsibility, and somebody's going to take care of me, and I'm okay with that, right? And that's going to be the real battle, I think, in moving crypto forward, moving decentralized networks forward. And guess what? Smart people will come up with ideas and concepts that will make decentralized safer, to where it's easier to be diligent, to where eventually, I don't know if you guys know, ERC 4337 was just launched. It's a basic protocol that makes a wallet into a smart contract within wallets. And guess what? They have a recovery for seed phrases, right? There's a mechanism you can put in place for recovery of seed phrases. Oh my goodness. Problem. People losing their seed phrases, can't get in their wallet. Let's solve it. But by supporting the industry, guys, not just owning crypto, supporting the industry, then there's more revenue, more funds available, more protocols can be built that will create decentralized safe mechanisms that will allow for it to be a better marketplace for us to get into. And then more people, because there's not, I like risk, I don't like risk. There's people on every single part of the spectrum, right? This person take a little bit of risk, but doesn't want a lot. This person wants a lot of risk, but wants some safety, right? All across that spectrum, there are people all the way across. And as things develop, it starts to get a bigger swath of the people that are out there until it crosses the 51% marker. And then at that point, then something is definitely going to here to stay because of people benefiting from it and it matching what they need, right? Because ultimately that's what we do. We put our effort, time, energy, money, resources to things that we believe are best for us. I don't care how generous you are. I don't care how nice you are. You're always doing things for your best interest. Even Mother Teresa did things for her best interest. Even though she spent her entire life helping other people, guess what? Every time she helped somebody, she got a benefit from that, and it made her feel better. It was where she got her personal value from, and so that's why she spent her entire life giving and helping other people. By nature, humans are selfish, right? We look after ourselves, right? And so these are the things that we need to think about. But the object of today's talk is we need to find products and services and share them with each other. Share them with each other of things that we like to do and like to play. So if you run across a game that's on the blockchain play to earn and you're having fun playing it, please send it to me, right? Because I want to jump in and spend a few minutes a day playing it, supporting that game. If there's a product, a service, anything that's being created that is around blockchain, that's a legitimate project that has a team that has been vetted. I'm going to say this right now, guys. If there is a project out there and it is an unvetted team, do not send it to Peter Gantner, right? I want to know who's behind because again, that might look legitimate today, but if you don't know who's running it, who's responsible, who is going to be the people, how do you even know if they got a good track record or bad track record or what they've created in the past, right? So vetted teams, great projects, get them to us so we can share them with the world and we can help move blockchain towards being a reality. And again, if I can find a game that's play to earn and I can share it with people that don't even understand blockchain, but they can get involved in the game and love the game, then they will say, wow, this blockchain stuff is pretty cool. Crypto is cool. I'm on board and I'm part of it. If we want crypto to succeed, if you want your tokens to go up, then you need to be part of helping grow the blockchain network, the people that are involved in crypto, not keep it to yourself. Because if everybody keeps it to themselves, then blockchain never gets where it is. The reason why we're where we're at right now is the early pioneers got involved and then they went out, Bitcoin Jesus, right? Whether you like him or don't like him, whatever, it doesn't matter. He went out and gave away Bitcoin. We started this off with an article that basically says El Salvador has been saved by Bitcoin. A decision that the leader made that said, hey, we're here. They have, I think, one $800 million bond that they paid off. They have another $300 million one and then another one. But the fact that they were able to pay off one of the biggest ones they have is stabilizing an entire country. And now it has hope to being a better place for people to live because it's becoming financially stable, guys. Think about that as a value proposition. Think about the fact that you own Bitcoin. You are in crypto because of your involvement. You helped make part of what happened in El Salvador possible. And who knows over the next few years, especially with the halving coming, and if Bitcoin does go to 100,000, to 300,000, guess what? El Salvador will pay off its next bond and its next, and it'll stabilize it and maybe someday be a great place for people to live, to grow families and all that stuff. And to me, that's a pretty cool thing to say, hey, I was part of that, right? Because of our involvement in crypto, we know for sure the Nexus ecosystem has taken thousands of people that were not in crypto, and we brought them into crypto. So if you're part of the Nexus ecosystem, you're part of the success that's happening right now in crypto. And part of that story is what's going on in El Salvador. Those are facts, guys. We know because we had an onboarding system, and we still do, that literally help people set up their first wallet, buy their first crypto, hundreds, thousands of people that we help do that. So there is no question of what our impact has been on the crypto market. We've helped grow it, and we've helped make it a better place with the projects and the things that we're working on. And I'm excited to be able to say that and be a part of that. So we'll answer some questions if you are, guys. I will tell you that we're really busy working on a whole bunch of stuff in the background. So for the next couple months, we're going to go to an AMA every 2 weeks. We haven't had a lot of questions on the last AMAs. So we'll just do the evening ones for right now. Most of our community, the evening ones are a better time frame for us to have it. So we'll go to every 2 weeks. So we won't have one next week. We'll have one the following week in the evening time. And then every 2 weeks from there for the next few months as the market continues to move forward. We're super busy helping Otherverse. I'm going to be doing a Reg CF offer here very soon on Republic, which is going to be just incredible. Working on helping test, do the alpha testing, getting ready to go to beta testing for that to open up. We've got Blockchain Alliance the 14th. There is a virtual way to watch the conference if you want to watch it. You don't need to be part of Blockchain Alliance to go on there. There's going to be a lot of information. You'll get to see about what Blockchain Alliance is doing. It's $49 for a ticket. That'll be on the 14th, 15th, and over that time frame. Doug is going to be there speaking about Digibot and NSI, as they're going to be promoting that in a huge way. I'm really excited about that. And moving that forward. So we've put a lot of time and effort and energy into that, guys. Another area with the success of Blockchain Alliance is because of the existence of the Nexus ecosystem and the fact that we help jump in there and help put things together and make it happen. So we're excited about that. And we have a lot of stuff that we're working on in the background that we just can't get into, because once they're developed, once it's built, we'll share it with you guys. We'll take a vote from the community to whether TruBadger wants to take it on in the Nexus ecosystem. And if it's a yes, then we'll bring those projects on board and we'll work with those as well. And we believe that one of them is, and it could be available in the next couple of months. We believe it's a home run for helping grow the ecosystem of crypto, right? Of blockchain, of NFTs. So we're excited about that and moving that forward. Continue to work. It's nice to have Bitcoin go back up to 28,000, pop back down to 26. I'm kind of loving this stair step up, not just, hockey sticking it and all of a sudden going from there. Might go back down, who knows? Might go, who knows if, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you when the bear market ends and the bull market starts, right? I'm not that intelligent when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? But what I do know is, and again, I can read in an article that, Bitcoin has already helped El Salvador tremendously, right? So I know there's a value proposition there. I've heard all kinds of stories of people, getting some Bitcoin, holding on to it for a while. Maybe some even forgot that they owned it, and now their lives are completely different today than what they are. So, and the stories are just beginning, because Bitcoin is nowhere near, in my opinion, near the top. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice. I just, for myself, I believe that a $26,000 Bitcoin is cheaper than cheap, right? I, along with Michael Saylor and so many other people that are out there, believe that Bitcoin is going into the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in value at some point. I believe, I don't know if you guys have seen, the kerfluffle or whatever you want to call it about countries moving away from the US dollar as a reserve currency. I want you guys to think about this. Getting countries, so who's going to create the next reserve? So the US became the reserve currency because we became the strongest country, and it was it wasn't set up that way. It was kind of de facto, right? It just became it, right? It wasn't like somebody planned it out. Okay, I want you guys to think about this. 8, 10, 12, 20, 50 countries all getting together and agree on who is going to run the currency that's going to run the world. It is not going to happen. You can't get that many people to agree on something like that. Who's going to control it? Well, what do you need? You need something that's decentralized, that has no one controlling it, if there's going to be a replacement of the US dollars. Again, my own opinions, guys. And I only know of one that was completely built naturally from the start, and it's the OG, and it's Bitcoin. It's been around the longest. The network is improving. I don't know if you guys, the Lightning Network is actually beginning to work. Fees are coming down on it, right? There's some vast improvements that have been taking place with Bitcoin. We're so focused on, Ethereum and smart contracts and Binance and all these other ones. And in the background, the Bitcoin people are just working away to improve that network. And I believe that if the US, I hope the US never loses its reserve currency thing, because I'm an American, and who knows what that will do to America, which is right now one of the, I call it the lighthouse of the world, right? A guiding light towards prosperity, towards freedom. And again, the documentation is there, guys. Okay. This is not questionable. You can argue, you can be wrong. I can't help you there, right? But there's one country that's been the most prosperous. It's America, and it's brought a lot of light and value to the world. And losing that reserve currency, who knows where it goes from there, right? Again, I don't have a crystal ball. All I can do is go by what I have. I do have a prejudice, of course, right? I'm an American on that side of it, right? So look, if there is going to be another currency, there's a good chance that it might be Bitcoin. And if it is, then what does Bitcoin's value go to? Your guess is as good as mine, right? I believe we need to go to at least a 51% decentralized world instead of a 99% centralized, right? Because that's probably where we're at right now, 99.9% centralized. So we got a long ways to move things along. We have the mechanism with blockchain and cryptocurrency, metaverse, Web3, whatever you want to call it, whatever direction you're going in there. So let's find the projects. Let's find the stuff that we believe can help support that. All right, so let's see, YouTube, P24. Are there any upcoming airdrops? No upcoming airdrops at this point that we're involved with. Guys, there are some chains, and we're going to start looking at this. It'll be part of what we'll do with Blockchain Alliance. We're going to start paying, there was the Arbitrum airdrops. There are some airdrops that are taking place. We have not been following those. And the reason why we haven't been following, guys, is it's a full-time job doing what we do, right? I don't have time to go research to find it, but we're going to try to get a mechanism put into place, maybe a research team that can look at those and start finding these airdrops. Now, again, airdrops are not free, guys. This is a participatory economy. An airdrop is you participate. So like to get the Blur airdrop, which was one of the bigger airdrops that happened recently, or the Arbitrum one, you had to participate on their chain, meaning you had to own a token on their chain, or you had to build on their chain, or you had to support something on their chain. So when we're talking airdrops, guys, we're not talking about somebody just handing out free money. It's value provided, value given. I want that term to become part of your mind. When it comes to a decentralized network, when it comes to it, it's value provided, value received, right? That's the idea there. So if you're going on something and they're just saying, we're just giving away tokens, the chances are, if you're not providing any value to them, there are very little chance that those will become valuable at some point. They might go up in value at first, but at some point, they're probably going to come down. There needs to be value given. That value can be you're a customer, okay? So I become a customer of that project, then there's value there because me as a customer, I bring value to the project. If I share on social media, if I help grow the network, then I'm providing value. Then if I'm getting tokens, and that's the way everybody's getting tokens is by providing value, then that can create success out in the world. But if somebody just goes, hey, I'm just giving you 10 million tokens, you didn't do anything, we're just giving them away, then the chances are that is not going to be a successful project, and those tokens will never be worth any money at all. So value provided, value given, creates success, and that can help create wealth. Okay, Pete, could Peter do an update on all projects where we are partnered? Just quick on each one. I can give you a couple. Solar reached out to us, and they are fighting through. They had all their reserve in USDT Luna, which I talked about when I started this, right? So that was sucked away, but they've been working hard in the background trying to figure out how to replace the revenue that they lost in USDT. So they are not gone. They're going to continue to move things forward. Otherverse, we've given updates on. Let's see. The other partnerships, Crypto Gods continues to move forward because we've used the assets there in order to help do stuff with Otherverse. So it owns Otherverse tokens. Safufied can't get into the details of what we're doing there. TruBadger can't get into the details there. Again, we don't want somebody to copy our idea and move forward with it, but it will be up to the community to decide to go from there. NSI is kicking butt, right? Another week or so, that will be released. It's partnered with Blockchain Alliance in order for Blockchain Alliance to bring on thousands, tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of traders on with Safufied, Insights and Digibot, which is at Mixed Martial Arts, is still moving forward, guys. I talked to him about a week ago. He's working with a new game studio to help get a game built on that side of it. Let's see, Stardom. Of course, you guys have seen that if you want to be in a movie, we're working with the studio there to put it in there. We had a meeting yesterday that could put us forefront in the movie industry in a very quick and big way in the next 3 or 4 months. The deal's not done yet. It's hard to share with the community, guys, some of the things that are happening in the background because they don't always come together. But people hear it and they think, oh, this is going to happen. I would love to share with you guys right from the very first phone call. But if we do that, we get ourselves in trouble because some deals just don't pan out. It's kind of like, you're out dating and you meet somebody and you're all googly eyed over them. And then you find out really what they're like behind the scenes. And you're like, I don't want to marry that person or be with them anymore. And you move on to the next, right? Think about that from a business perspective. You meet somebody, they give you their pitch. Like, oh my God, I'm all googly eyed over it. This is going to be an incredible deal. But then you find out that they're, not what you think they were. And trust me, I can tell you some stories. Okay. Wow. Could I? Matter of fact, in about 6 years, we'll write the book and you can buy a copy of it for $19.99 I'll have the website for you maybe on the next call. It'll be 5 years down the road, but might as well get prepared now, right? Save up the $19.99 to buy the book of the stories that are, the real life behind the scenes scumbag. I think we'll basically just name the book Scumbags, right? But maybe we'll give you some of those stories on just people saying what they wanted us to say or believe, and then being something completely different in the background. I'm just kidding, guys. Everybody's wonderful and terrific, and we just love everyone there. Let's see, what other one do we have? Selfless is still moving forward. They're doing some stuff in the background. We're working with them actually on Otherverse. One of the companies that they're working with is looking at building a huge thing in the metaverse. Anything I forget, guys, on a quick update on the different projects?
I think you pretty much got it. Just maybe Utopia 42.
Utopia 42 still moving forward, right? Our blockchain developer took a controlling interest in it. They're making stuff happen. Bear market, guys, things just move slower than what you want them to. Whereas in a bull market, things move very quickly because people have resources just to dump into it and move things along faster. Remember, nobody works for free. Well, almost nobody works for free. So I had to correct that one right there very quickly. Okay. Almost nobody works for free, right? So, Rhonda got a giggle out of that one, right? So, almost nobody works for free. So, to move things forward, there has to be revenue in there. Muon, guys, continues to make progress and move things forward, right? They're building things in the background, technologies and different systems. Look, they've built an entire network now, right? What they're getting ready to do once their token's out there, it could end up being one of these tokens like a Solana, or one of these other brands that are out there, Arbum, which just launched, right? It got its own protocols, right? So where you have an ERC, it has a Don, what help me with it?
MRC, I believe.
MRC, there you go. MRC, right? They're building their own protocols to be a cross chain. So its tokens will be used for the network for that. We have a server reserved for us, so we'll be able to process transactions. So a node, as Don says, so we'll be able to help be one of the companies or projects that are processing transactions in the background. So when you go do a transaction on the Muon network, we'll have a chance to process those, secure those, and we'll get paid Muon tokens for doing that. So that's going to be one of our revenue sources moving forward to continue to build and grow and make things happen. So let's see what else. We got another question there. Let's see one more. Where are people storing their TruBadger and NSI? Will it store on a nano ledger? You can store it on a nano ledger. I store mine in my Safufied wallet. We have secured lots of people. There's about 600 people, I think, right now. And the good thing is it has the ability to do it tax-free. When you go in, you click on the dApps, and then you open it up, you click on the TruBadger dApp, and you can transfer it from your wallet to your safe. Absolutely transaction fee, right? You're not going to pay the 10% transaction on that. You can do that with NSI. You can do that with Safufied tokens. So all three tokens can be done that way on that. So that is the best place to store our tokens, is in the safe, the Safufied safest safe. If you need help with doing that, I can't help you with a nano, but we do have a onboarding staff, Carolyn, that can help you jump on the Zoom, and they'll help you transfer them from your wallet to the safe so they are secure and safe. I would recommend, I got to tell you guys, from when we launched the safe, if every single person would have transferred their tokens into the safe, there would be 0 people that have had their tokens stolen at this point. There has been not a single safe that has lost their tokens. I talked to some of the other, maybe it was a month ago now, their wallet got hacked. They had their tokens in the safe, absolutely did not lose their tokens, right? So if they're in the safe, you're safe, right? And that is the best place. That's why we built it, right? Is so people can, a lot of people have fought moving their tokens over, right? They've decided to leave them in their wallets and not move them over. But I would recommend everybody move their tokens into the safest Safufied safes, because then your token will be safe. Okay. All right. I think that's it, guys. So we will see you guys in 2 weeks at 7 Pacific time. So not this next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. And, as things come together, we'll have more updates. If you guys have questions, please, come on, ask the questions. That's what we're here for. No questions are off limits to us. We're excited about the future. We continue to push forward. And I guess, it's easy for me to say, hey, I'm excited about it. But what it's not easy to do is show up every single day and continue to push forward. And that's what we do, right? I don't have another gig, right? My gig is crypto, moving things forward. It's my focus right now, right? 7 days a week. I still work 7 days a week. Haven't stopped yet. Maybe one of these days I'll work 6.5 or something. Maybe 6.25. I don't know. Take off a quarter of a day. But right now, 7 days a week, guys, moving these projects forward, working on the stuff. If I'm doing something, it's to generate revenue. So for us to continue to move this stuff forward, right? I believe in what we're doing. I believe in the concept and the idea of community. I believe that we, as individuals, coming together for a common goal of financial freedom can move mountains. And I got to tell you, I've been doing this now for 7+ years, right? For 7 years, I've been basically, I'm not a preacher, but I've been preaching, right? For 7 years, I've been preaching community is commerce. And to be honest with you, I don't have the results that I would like to have right now, but I haven't given up on the concept or the idea of it because I know it is truth, right? I know it is because I can look at articles like what's happening in El Salvador. I can look at the power of what we've done on a micro scale. And just now the question that I have still today is, how do you find 50 or 100,000 committed people to their own financial benefit, but doing it where everybody else benefits in the group, right? How do we eliminate or take the selfishness of people and keep them focused enough to leverage the power of a community? Because this is what I've experienced is community comes together and then the life forces outside of it. Things don't happen as fast as they want. So they begin to doubt and then they get pulled away to something else or problems in their life and they step away from it and they don't stay engaged. Patience is, I think Marty had put in there about being patient, about staying committed and dedicated. And that doesn't mean, you need to put in 7 days a week, right? Every single day. It might be 5 minutes a day, but you keep putting in that 5 minutes a day. No matter what crazy stuff is going on in your life, you stay connected. When we're able to figure out that formula and put together 50, 100,000 people, look, community has already proven itself. Dogecoin, Shiba. Show me the value propositions behind those. I can talk about Shiba. It has its own exchange, low volume, low liquidity. So where does its value come to be worth billions of dollars? Community. Dogecoin. Lots of talk, lots of things about what they're going to do in the future, but where's its value today? Where's its utility? Community. Why was Bitcoin able to, and the whole crypto market survive Luna and FTX? Community, people is the power of moving these things forward and making them happen. We are the solution. There is no other solution out there. We are the solution. It's just we need to stick with it. But as people, we flip-flop a lot and we get in something and we quit because, in 6 months, I want a Ferrari. And in 3 months, you don't have half the money or 3/4 of the money for the Ferrari. So you leave and you go figure out something else that's going to get your Ferrari in 6 months. But here's the problem. 3-4 months in, you leave and go to something else. Okay, I'll get my Ferrari in 6 months. 3-4 months in, you leave and go do something else. 6 months, I'll get my Ferrari. 3-4 months, 3-4 months, 3-4 months. All of a sudden, 15, 20, 30 years down the road, you still do not have a Ferrari because you never stuck with anything long enough to ever get it. Stop putting a time frame on it. Just say, I want a freaking Ferrari. Find the right team, the right place to focus, and you stick with it and you continue to focus. And guess what? One day that Ferrari will be in your driveway. Especially when you're talking about a model of community is commerce, because it is, it always has been, and it always will be. And we are figuring out the solutions to harness it. And once we crack that code, then we are going to create a massive amount of success for a massive amount of people and bring a ton of value to the world. And that's what the important part is right there, bringing a ton of value to the world. Guys, that's our call today. Thank you for joining us. And we look forward to the future.